Hey everybody, I'm your host Leven. Welcome to the Leven Podcast. This is a new show in which we will be talking to some people within the Fortnite community, whether that be players, analysts, casters, whoever we can get our hands on, and whoever you guys would like to see me talk to. So be sure to leave down in the comment section below who you guys would like to see me talk to. Um, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Leven2K and follow me on Twitch to watch the podcast live. This obviously did air yesterday, but I am now rolling it out for you guys on YouTube. There are a couple of bits that were cut out, a bit of technical difficulties during the actual live stream, but obviously those have been kind of chopped and edited. So if you didn't watch the live stream, don't worry, it's gonna be here on YouTube, but even better. Today we're gonna be interviewing my boy Finnex. A lot of you will probably know Finnex. We're gonna be talking about him juggling GCSEs through Fortnite World Cup, as well as some of the beef he's had throughout his time in the scene and the better rosters he's been on, etc. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me some feedback on Twitter in the comment section. Appreciate all the support. Have a nice evening. Enjoy the podcast.
What are you saying? Come on.
Are you good though? Are you good? Are you good? How you doing?
Shouldn't, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How was this weekend's Fortnite
It
World
was
Cup
rough.
qualifiers?
It was pretty rough. Can't lie.
Um,
let's just say. Middle of this week, my
mm,
monitor, you had a fist through it.
wait, why? Do you mad?
Yeah, there's rotations.
Fair enough. We'll talk about this week more. First of all, simple question: how's GCSEs, man? Because you've been doing GCSEs.
I
Well,
mean, it's easier than I expected.
yeah, that's a big thing. Because obviously, I did mine last year, and
Yeah.
I feel like it gets like it's made to be such a big deal until you actually
Trust.
get there, and it's like
Yeah.
it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. I mean,
Yeah,
like, the teachers there, they rush you and they say it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done.
yeah.
But yeah, it's super easy.
Um, how do you feel about like managing it? How have you been managing GCSEs and Fortnite?
It's been rough once again. Like, I've been on a kind of 2 hour playing each day, less.
Yeah,
But it's because I've had no study leave. Like our school refused to give it to us this year,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we've got it for this like last week. So this week coming, I've got study leave, so I can grind the game.
Yeah, that's with me. We didn't get study leave because like new government studies and shit been like,
Yeah.
study leave doesn't actually work. But like
Hmm.
back when I was doing it, do you remember divisions, right? You played divisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's when divisions were happening when I was doing my GCSEs, so I couldn't play them. Um,
Really.
yeah.
Mm.
Just stopped playing Fortnite for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like give me more detail on this weekend. How was Saturday like? WP
Well,
weekend.
Saturday I was on 60 hertz,
Mm.
so my goal was just to get for placement, really.
Is that because of your Smash
So
monitor, or was that the monitor you
yeah,
smashed?
yeah,
Ah,
that
okay,
was a
fair
smash
enough.
monitor.
Fair
So
enough.
like that weekend, that Saturday,
Yeah,
I play completely placement. Like, the only kills that I would go for is if I was 100% sure I get it, or it'd be a kill where this one guy's getting sprayed by everyone in the map, and you just get that last shot on him.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna aim it for, and yeah, I qualified, so that's alright.
How many points did you end on?
64.
Okay, so what was the story like for today? 'Cause I know I spoke
Um,
to you and you said it wasn't too good.
yeah, the first game, um, I died off spawn at Viking.
Yeah,
Second game, I won with 6 kills, which was pretty nice. Uh, I had nothing. I had 80 HP, and I broke into someone's, like, it was like a 3x1. It was like a worm shaped base, and obviously he can hear it because the audio in this game is really good.
yeah.
So
That's a big problem. Like whenever I'm watching, I'm literally
yeah,
just like I was trying to cast games today, um,
mm,
on stream, and like the amount of times like I play with a rift and just land on high ground, and the guys are standing there clueless.
really,
Yeah, sound is really fucked in this game.
mm, it's
Um,
mad. Yeah, but from that kill, he had a ball, he had
yeah,
6 shadow bombs, and he had a rift. So I won that game from nothing, pretty much.
That's not bad. So where was the kind of main problem? What was like the moment where you were like, I'm
Um,
fucked?
it's after the third game. I was sitting there, and I was like, um. So obviously, in the week we have no practice
Yeah,
because all the customs is just kind of second zone rule.
yeah,
So mid game, it's just completely stupid because no one's had the time to practice anything. So people are just running around cluelessly, not knowing what to do, pushing stuff that you'd never expect anyone to push
yeah,
because no one's had any practice for mid game. So that was my problem mid game, just because of the lack of normal customs that were going on.
Do you feel like that's the same for you in duos, is duos better?
Duos, I think people tend to push more in duos just because you have the confidence with your duo mate.
Yeah,
I think then again, if your duo mate is really passive, I don't think he's gonna want to push. So duos is just a complete contrast
yeah,
because one duo could be extremely passive, and then another duo could be like the most aggressive people you've ever seen.
yeah.
So yeah,
All right. Obviously, you still got this weekend duos,
yeah,
and so of course don't give up. I know a lot of people are probably down. Like, I saw some people where literally like Solary Airwax.
yeah,
He literally just had to kill one guy and he would have qualified. Like the final guy, if he just killed him, he
mad,
qualifies.
yeah.
And it's like that sucks. But move on to next week. I'm gonna take you
Mhm.
way, way back, right? Way back, because
Calm.
obviously we start talking like back when you were in Tricksters or something like that. Like
Yeah, that was
we,
it.
yeah, we know from time. But how did you actually get into the scene?
So obviously it was back in British Paranoia.
Yeah,
Um, so let me think. So Alex JJ.
yeah, yeah,
I was on his stream once, about like me and Freaks,
yeah,
some Freaks, and we were just kind of looking through Twitch streamers, um, just seeing what was good,
yeah,
just seeing how like where was the competitive scene because we had just got from PUBG and we've been really interested to kind of join
Oh, I
the
didn't know you
Fortnite
played
scene.
PUBG.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so me and Freaks came from there. So I'm me and Freaks kind of sat there watching the stream for a while, just kind of saying he was good and stuff like this in his chat, just kind of sitting in this chat for weeks and weeks and weeks
Yeah,
until I learned a lot from Alex. So I thought that I could kind of venture into the scene. So at the
yeah,
time he ran a Discord called Bush Run, which I got invited to by
yeah.
asking him. I think at the time it was like 350 people in that Discord.
Oh, damn, yeah. Okay, I remember
Um,
early Bush.
yeah, so that's pretty nice. Yeah. So he invited me to this. Squad like solo snipes took place every night,
Yeah,
and the people who know in the scene now, they all came from solo snipes, all of them.
yeah, yeah. I know a
Like back
lot
in
of
the day,
people. Yeah,
that is where everyone got their name, especially Mongrel. Like back in EXP, he was just winning and winning and winning every single solo snipe.
mm.
Brush Paranoia, EXP, Pog, all
Ah,
of this stuff.
EXP. Who was it that owned EXP again? That crazy guy.
I know he's a little weirdo though.
Jamie.
That's it.
Yeah, that guy. I really want to know where that guy is now. What was your earliest lineup? Because I remember you from Tricksters.
Oh yeah. So story time.
Okay.
Benji Fishy.
Yeah, legend.
That was yeah. So he was in a team. He was in an organization called Clairvoyance. They had £300, and he joined them because he wanted free beef jerky.
Yikes.
Um, so he was in a team with Nadify, some guy called Scissor, and Ryan Peak.
Okay, yeah.
And I was speaking to Benji because we used to play a lot back then. I was teaming with Killigore and Stig. Yeah, so I put Benji into this team, and that's where divisions began. So we started divisions, and we ended up in Division 2 or something, which is pretty much where we stayed because we just couldn't break out. To get into divisions, we had the divisions qualifiers. Stig. Oh wait, no. What happened? Yeah, right. So Peak. No, Stig can play, right? So we bring in Peak, and like he clutched up the last game, like proper clutched it and made us go to Div 2. So Peaks the man, bro. I love that guy. He's an OG.
Who was on that old Tricksters lineup? Because that's where I know you from.
Tricksters. That was me, Mitro, um, Milan, and Kinzel.
How did that lineup come to be?
Right. So how did that start? Um, I was during with Milan, and basically we were playing pretty inconsistently. So I think Milan wanted to draw Mitro, and so we got Mitro. He started drawing Mitro, and then I think I started playing with Kinzel a little bit. So after that happened, we kind of formed a squad, and unfortunately, we didn't play any tournaments because that would have been carnage, bro. I would feel bad.
Yeah, that would have been pretty insane. Um, I want to kind of get into the Twiggler situation because based off of what I remember from that situation, and I'm sure a lot of people probably are the same. Um, I remember that being FNPL had come onto the scene and they had announced that they were going to be doing this whole, EU league with all of the best EU players, regular snipes, something along those lines. Obviously there were problems with it right off the bat. The French players still had access to customs and therefore they didn't want to play snipes, etc., etc. But I remember they were only letting players who were signed to orgs join, and what happened was that obviously Twiglets appeared. Twiglets was a team that was formed around that time, and people kind of felt as if you guys kind of created that team just to cheat the system so they would get an invite into FNPL.
Um, it wasn't like that. Um, so me and I think it was Chaz, no, Freaks and Bao were during at the time, and I think I was speaking. It was either Bao or Freaks about during again. I think it was Freaks. Because obviously me and Freaks have played like we probably played like 3,000 matches together, you know. So it's like might as well try again to see how we do because playing that amount of matches together, you're gonna have some nice chemistry. So we played that, and then we were in a call with Chaz and Bao one day. We were like,
Yeah.
what if we just formed a team just as us four?
Okay.
Just because Chaz was an insane player. Like that guy in shooter games, he's just an absolute god. Like he's so good.
Yeah.
Bao is just like the chillest guy. Like he just boosted all the morale, and he was just like an insane player as well.
Yeah.
So we formed that team, and yeah, we got into Pro League as well. Um, Pro League was a weird one because that's where, although it was a bit of a flop, that's where the kind of scene like
Yeah.
developed. I think
Yeah.
like you had like you had the introduction of Rocket and Smith
Yeah. 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 A lot of
and like
people.
these big players. And well, I don't know if Rocket still plays, but like he's an insane editor.
Yeah, I know he's done a lot with
Yeah, he's
Benji
nuts.
and Mongrel. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Smith, who's just an absolute god as well. He's in Fnatic now. Like seeing him develop as a player, it's just like it was mad. He used to do a peak,
Yeah.
and I remember like he wasn't an insane player,
Yeah.
but like that guy, that 12 kill win he got to qualify him was mad. Like he's an insane player.
Yeah. I know a lot of players are like that. Like I remember Nyrox, right?
Yeah,
Do you remember the first time Playground came out? And like everyone's grinding 1v1s in Playground, yeah.
yeah,
I remember Playground comes out, right? And it's me, Chewed Up, and Nobody. And and we needed a fourth, right? So we get Nyrox. This is the first time I ever like spoken to him, right?
yeah.
And like we were like dominating this guy in Playground, like
Hmm.
we were dominating him. And we knew he was a decent player, but like like it was bad. And he kind of
Yeah.
left, right, a bit angry. And then I
Hmm.
remember like a couple months later, like I'm playing customs and I'm just seeing this one day I'm just seeing this guy winning like so many games. I'm like,
Trust. Yeah.
damn, this guy. I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like so many players who are the
Mhm.
biggest players in the game now who do
Yeah.
so well. Like just seeing the way they developed as players is
Hmm.
always really nice. So
Another player that's kind of developed, like another duo, is Crew and Chapix. Like these guys are they're on another level, bro.
yeah.
Crew and Chapix are absolutely insane. Before World Cup, I just thought these guys were bots.
Did
You know?
Crew qualify today? I think he might
Yeah,
have.
he qualified
Yeah.
again, man.
Congrats to
Duos
him.
and solos. Like
Congrats to him.
I didn't. It's just I've never heard of some of these players who are qualifying, which I just love. Although the qualifiers are awful, it's nice to see some new names kind of pop up. You know,
Yeah. So see
you
those.
haven't. Hmm?
So obviously those are some of the players who like were kind of bad
Yeah.
and are now like kind of gods. But back then, were there any players who you would like kill and you like it was kind of like a flex? You'd be like, ah, yeah, I just killed blah blah blah. Like, was there
Oh,
anyone like that?
oh, I don't know if you remember him. You know, Hog. Um,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah, I
season
remember him.
2, bro.
Yeah,
This guy, he would win every single solo. Like I'm not even not one, not two, not three. Every single solo slam you played, this guy was on top, bro.
yeah,
This and then one day he just left. He just gone, and I was like, what happened to this guy, bro? The best player. He was the best player in EU.
that's
Another
crazy.
player. Yeah, another player was Kling. Kling.
Oh yeah, I
He
remember.
was top season 1, season 2. Just absolutely nuts player. Still is good now. Still is good. But season 1 and 2, back when, you know, Boom, the team, was
Yeah,
like, I think it was Kling, Hog, who else was in it? Was it Gandalf and Zipan? I think that was it. That team was just insane. They were the players who you needed to watch out for in season 1 and 2.
yeah. For me in my one, because I came in a bit later than you, I
Yeah,
always had problems fighting Zipan. Like
yeah, Zipan.
my first day ever playing like customs, like quote unquote pro customs. I
Yeah,
remember this guy killed me 3 games in a row, and I was like fuck, I can't beat this kid.
he's nuts.
Yeah, that's those players are great.
Yeah,
Um, I want to ask you about that squash lineup because
the squash lineup. Yeah,
the squash was. I just remember you guys being pretty good because even if you look at it here, you guys were like together around the time of like the BP Open squads and the POG Open
hmm
squads.
yeah,
And BP Open squads, you guys came second in that, and
hmm
POG Open squads, you guys came seventh.
yeah,
And like those were like, I think those were back-to-back days or weeks,
yeah.
something
They
like
were.
that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
So like that was pretty insane at the time. Tell
Yeah.
me more about that team because there are a lot of good players.
So obviously, I was drinking with Jakey at the time.
Yeah,
Found Jakey from the apps from absolutely nowhere. I split with Milan, and I was lost for duo options. Everyone had a duo at the time. Everyone was in a secure duo. So I was like, okay, let's think. I went down the FMPL pro list,
yeah,
and I found some guy who I've never heard of before. Name was Jakey. I was like, okay, let's try out this guy. So I messaged him. He was like, I'm from Birmingham. I was like, oh fuck, man, this guy's accent's gonna be disgusting. But then I went into game with him. This guy's the best player I'd ever played with, bro. Like, Jakey is an that guy is he's fucking insane, bro.
yeah,
So yeah, we started during. We were doing really well. We were getting loads of points and pop ups, stuff like this. And then at the time, I was really good friends with Mexi.
yeah,
It was either Mexi or Koffer. Like they're both insane players. Mexi just
yeah.
absolute beast.
He's insane.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
guy's
when
nuts.
he was in Public Enemy with
Yeah,
Savage, Ryu, and Coffee. Like
yeah.
there was a time where like I don't know he was having problems with Coffee as a duo, and
hmm
like I don't think he didn't let it affect him like seeing the way he'd like always been able to bounce back and just improve, and now he's one of the better players in EU.
Yeah.
Um, I want to ask you though, based off of that, do you miss squads? Because I know some
I
people
yeah.
who miss squads a lot.
Personally, I think squads would be the best competitive game mode. I just think if it wasn't laggy, imagine having a listening on the comms and just seeing how smooth everyone's comms are. Having a
Yeah,
squad rotate through moving zones. Just imagine how sick that'd be. Different layers of just tunneling, double tunnels through the moving zones. It'd just be nuts. That being said, I think they announced the squad arena mode. So
yeah, I heard something
that would
about
be
it.
really interesting to kind of see as a competitive mode.
Yeah, people also like trios a lot.
Yeah, that's
So
really nice as well.
yeah, trios would
But
be interesting.
the thing is, as soon as that comes out, as soon as that as soon as the events start happening, I wonder how the duo splits are gonna work, because most duos just gonna have to split and just part ways to join another duo. It's gonna be a bit mad.
Yeah, well,
I have a feeling there's gonna be some beef in some places as well, but
yeah, you know a lot
who
about
knows?
beef, don't you?
Yeah, bro.
You know a fuck lot about beef.
Yeah.
Um, like I was only gonna go into this later, but I might as well talk about this now. Like one, actually, I'm not gonna ask you that. That's a bit toxic. I was gonna say what like have been like your biggest beefs or problems you've had, because you're kind of like people have this kind of perception around you that I think is kind of false and exaggerated. Because me personally, I've always known you to be like just
Yeah.
a nice guy, right?
Hmm.
Not toxic,
Yeah.
not having big ego, etc. But people kind
Yeah.
of had this perception of you. And where do you think it comes from?
Um, just when I die,
Yeah,
I would tend to say stuff that I don't mean, which everyone does, but because I've done that multiple times,
yeah,
I think it's kind of rough for people to take me as a joke, you know? Like people think I'm being
serious.
completely serious and stuff
Yeah,
like this. Other things that happened was like, it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think back in the day, back in last summer, we had a group called Friends Group.
Yeah, I
It
remember
was
you,
yeah,
Alfie.
me, Mongrel, Alfie, Milan, and Benji.
Yeah,
And I joined squash, and I was like, uh, guys in that group were like taking a piss out of me with the team and stuff,
yeah,
and just saying, I can't remember what they were saying, but it was something mad. And like I kind of took that to heart, you know.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave these guys, and I'm gonna focus on our team, just stuff like this. And people kind of from that group,
yeah.
they held grudges, you know, and then the same they still do to this day.
It's fair enough,
Um,
cause a lot of I'm talking here like I'm some grandpa. I'm only like 1 or 2 years older than a lot of you guys,
yeah,
but like at the end of the day, all of that group, all of you guys in that group are quite young in it. So
yeah,
I feel like when you mature, I'm not saying you specifically, but just in general, like when you mature, you start to realize like a lot of this is just, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. Like, there's no point in
trust,
holding grudges,
yeah,
etc. So,
mm,
it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds in the future.
mm.
Um, what happened with Jakey as a duo?
With Jakey, all right, this is a subject.
Is this one you want to dodge?
Oh, I'm not gonna no, I'm not gonna name the girl. Okay.
We can dodge this. This
No,
is fine.
no, no.
We can, we
It's
can,
fine. It's fine. It's
no,
fine.
we can
So
dodge. We can dodge. We can dodge, bro.
me and Jakey, we used to practice like non-stop, bro. We get home, we grind until early in the morning.
Yeah.
We would not stop practicing until um an eagle came along to
Okay.
Jakey,
Okay.
and I think you probably know who it is because they're still
Yeah.
together to this day.
Yeah.
But don't mention the name. But
Yeah.
basically, Jakey would stop practicing and stuff, just to talk to this girl, basically. And I was like, me and Jakey were falling off as a duo because we just weren't getting the practice we
Yeah.
needed. So I was like, this was the worst decision I think I've made in my career, like our career, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
splitting with Jakey was a big mistake. But
It's interesting you say that though, because obviously directly after that, I can't remember who you were playing with directly after that, but I remember I remember you started playing with Vaughan,
yeah,
and at the time you guys were performing quite well, and that was
hmm,
the time of ESL as well,
yeah,
and you guys were playing so well that like you guys had like fucking half of the fucking kids in this community like Vaughan Finnex should be in ESL, and that
yeah,
turned into a big problem in itself because like people were
yeah.
like, ah, these guys, what are these guys doing? What was
I
that
think
like
it
for
was
you?
jealousy as well. People were getting pissed because we had so many people tweeting about us.
Mm,
I don't want to call it jealousy, but I do at the same time because I think it was like I think we had around 500 tweets
yeah,
just spamming ESL to invite us because we were just winning everything. Like Vaughan is just I think he is the most humble, nicest guy in the community, and people mistake him for being like saying he has an ego.
Yeah,
Like,
I've only spoken to him once, and he was really nice. Like
nicest
he
guy, bro.
genuinely.
The thing is, people will say that you've got an ego, right? In this scene, if you don't respond to their DMs, like
That used to be a really big thing.
I'll go through my DMs right now, right? Listen, um, hang on. Hey, hi, yo, wanna play CS? Yo, can you screen share your games? Like, and I don't respond to them, and then I'll just get loads of hate for that.
Bro, it's fucked, man. It's fucked. I'll tell you this. This is like I used to see the same things happening as well. Like I used to be in Discord conversations with people,
Yeah,
and like they'd call certain people, like we'll say certain people have egos because they wouldn't talk to them. Like some of the people
hmm,
now who I'm like kind of friends with, like back in the day, they quote unquote egoed me because they wouldn't respond to my DM. And it's like you don't
yeah,
see it as like that. You know what I mean? Like it's true.
hmm,
If you are somebody who is of notoriety, like if I was flipping Mongrel and kids are messaging me saying hi, I'm not responding.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I'm not
hmm,
I'm not
yeah.
responding. So like I think people need to like see things from the other perspective. Like you can't talk
Trust
to
me,
every single person.
100%.
Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it makes sense. I think that's why if you are someone who's kind of big or known, I think if you try your best to interact with people who are your fans through streaming, etc., whatever it is, then like you kind of eliminate that because then people can't be like, he has an ego. You don't even da 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 because you can
Yeah.
be like, well, actually, I'm doing all of
Mm-hmm.
this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
Trust.
yeah, that's
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 that's a big I think that's one of the biggest problems in the scene is just the behavior because this game is kind of targeted at young people. You get a lot of kids,
yeah.
and these kids just don't understand what an ego means. So that their only vocabulary is ego and but.
Mm,
So yeah.
no, that's fair enough. Um, Once again, what happened with Vaughan? Because you obviously referred to him as probably one of the humblest guys in the scene.
What happened to Volume? Same thing happened with Jakey, but apart from the ego thing, we kind of fell off, you know.
His performances
Um,
weren't as good, etc.
yeah, yeah. So he's begun to drill Provoked,
Yeah,
but then I think him and Provoked didn't work. So I think he went back to Martos.
yeah,
But there was a this all happened at the start of Vaughan. Like Vaughan and me happened after we were gonna make a squad, and that squad was gonna be me, Jakey, Vaughan, and Martos since they were during at the time,
no doubt.
and we were winning most squad customs that we played.
Yeah,
Like you could not name two nicer people in this community than Vaughan and Martos. Just the nicest people ever.
yeah. Seem like nice
Love them.
guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
no, what were you gonna say?
I went into a call with them, and I was kind of expecting to kind of see a bit of ego in these guys just because the sheer following they have.
Yeah, like
Like
Martos
Martos,
was like flipping. Martos was referred to like a pioneer of most building
yeah,
technique, etc. Like
yeah.
he was really big.
But he was
Just
just like any other guy that I spoke to. Just
yeah,
I knew it's mad. Nicest guys, bro. Nicest guys.
that's good. Um, one of probably the last thing I will really ask you is
Yeah.
considering how well you've performed throughout a lot of like your playing time
Hmm.
and like how big you have become in terms of following on Twitter, streaming,
Yeah.
etc. How come you're not signed? And how many times have you been approached by
Um.
relatively decent orgs, etc.?
Also, back in like last year, I was approached by quite a lot of orgs,
Any big
but
ones that you
these
can leak?
big ones I can leak. Um. No,
Fair
I
enough.
don't want to say that because I think they were players now, so I don't know.
Off stream, off stream, off stream, off stream.
Yeah, I say off stream.
But
Off pod, off pod.
off pod, off pod, off pod. Um, but yeah, what happened? Why didn't you end up, like taking the offers,
'Cause
etc.?
most of these orgs didn't know that I was 15. Because I turned 16 in February. So before the announcement of 13 and under being able to compete, I would never get signed.
Yeah.
But imagine that thingy coming out and then seeing squash coming second and seventh in back-to-back tournaments.
Yeah.
Like that would have been an insta pickup, bro.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. I just got to keep on. Well, I've got to perform in these next kind of weeks leading up to the World Cup, like in the whatever they decide to do. But we'll see.
Fair enough, man. I see where you're at. I think
Mm.
recently you've been playing with who you gonna be playing duos with this weekend?
This weekend, it's let's just say he's pretty unknown,
Yeah.
but this guy's come like top 100 pretty much every week,
Crazy.
and he is an L2 spammer, so
Okay. We love
that's
all,
quite nice.
we love all L2 spammers.
Trust, yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you for talking. Thank you for joining me. My first interview.
Appreciate that,
That's
bro.
flipping exciting. Hopefully we can talk here again soon.
Yeah, it's good.
But good luck. Good luck in the next couple of weeks of
Cheers, bro.
whatever it is that Fortnite decide to do with their crappy little game.
Yeah.
Plug yourself, man. Plug yourself.
Twitter.com/Finnex, twitch.tv/FinexFM. Let's go.
Thank you very much, bro.
See you later, man.
See you later. Yo, so thank you to everyone for tuning into the podcast this week. I'd want to thank Finnex again for joining me. Let me know down in the comment section below who you'd like to see me interview, and I'll try to see if I can get them on here. I appreciate all the support. Be sure to follow me on Twitter once again at Leven2K, and to be able to watch the stream live as I go live with these people I interview, follow me on twitch.tv at Leven2K. I appreciate all of you guys. See you soon. Good night.
Did you read the patch notes?